All right, folks, welcome back. Sheepdog Smokey here, and this is one that I honestly saw coming, but one that I hope gets to the Supreme Court. Ninth Circuit Court rules Kate Steinle's parents can't sue Sanctuary City over negligence. San Francisco. The parents of a woman killed by an illegal alien who was released from custody despite a federal request that he be held cannot sue San Francisco for negligence over the death that touched off a fierce national debate, a U.S. appeals court ruled. A three-judge panel of the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on Monday, March 25th, unanimously refused to reinstate a lawsuit the parents of Kate Steinle filed against San Francisco and its former sheriff, Ross Marcarimi, in the July 2015 shooting by Jose Inez Garcia Zarate. The shooting turned into a major campaign issue in multiple national and local races across the country. President Donald Trump repeatedly referred to the shooting during his 2016 campaign to bolster his argument for tougher immigration policies and his opposition to so-called sanctuary cities that limit cooperation with immigration officials. The Kate Steinle killer came back and back over the weakly protected Obama border, always committing crimes and being violent. And yet this info was not used in court. His exoneration is a complete travesty of justice. Build the wall. I remember these tweets, and I still agree with them. Mercarimi released Garcia Zarate, a Mexican national, from jail 3 months before the shooting, despite a request from Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials to inform them of his release date and hold him until they could pick him up for deportation proceedings. Garcia Zarate has already been deported 5 times. In an email to an attorney for Steinle's family, Frank Petre was not immediately returned, or an email, not in an email. The facts of the case are undeniably tragic, but the sheriff was well within his authority when he issued a memo that limited his department's cooperation with immigration officials, Ninth Circuit Court Judge Mark Bennett said. Bennett was nominated to the court by Trump, a frequent critic of the Ninth Circuit. President Trump, you nominated the wrong man. He just sided with illegals. The tragic and unnecessary death of Steinle may well underscore the policy argument against Sheriff Mercarimi's decision to bar his employees from providing the release date of a many times convicted felon to ICE, Bennett said, but that policy argument can be acted on only by California's state and municipal political branches of government, or perhaps by Congress. Federal immigration laws cited by the plaintiffs also did not require Mercarimi to provide Garcia Zarate's release date, Bennett said. A San Francisco jury in 2017 acquitted Garcia Zarate of murder, but convicted him of illegal gun possession. Where's Kamala Harris on her gun control pulpit when an illegal alien kills a U.S. citizen with an illegally obtained gun? Garcia Zarate said a gun he found on the pier accidentally fired when he picked it up. He's also facing federal charges to which he has pleaded not guilty. The gun used in the fatal shooting belonged to a U.S. Bureau of Land Management ranger who reported it stolen from his car parked in San Francisco. Ranger, don't leave your gun in your car, on your hip, in a holster, otherwise on your body, or in a safe in your house. Steinle's parents also named the federal government as a defendant in their lawsuit because the ranger had allegedly left the gun in plain view in an unlocked car on a downtown street. Good. That part of the lawsuit is moving forward. Yeah, that ranger needs to lose his job. Just like the idiot we saw a video of trying to do a backflip where his gun drops out and fires. If your job requires you to carry a firearm, that firearm is on your person, in your control, or in a safe. I don't carry one for my job. In fact, there are most days I'm not allowed to when I go to my job because of policies of my office. So if it's not on my body, it's safe behind a key that I control. That's just common sense. Now, of course, the gun control crowd doesn't say a thing because a criminal stole a gun and then kill somebody with it. I can tell you, I've been around firearms for almost 30 years, actually a little over. They don't just fire when you pick them up, especially not one being used by a ranger in the course of his duties. That weapon was in good condition, I can tell you. Likely on safe, but even if not, you have to pull the trigger. If you're so ignorant of basic things like that, don't touch. This is a man who was deported 5 times. He's a convicted felon. And Sheriff Mercarimi decided, no, I don't need to notify immigration that he's back so they can deport him again, so he can illegally enter again. No, they released him. Kate Steinle died. I honestly hope this gets appealed up and up and up until it's in front of the Supreme Court, so that someone can say our laws are very clear on how to enter this country. We have cities that are telling their people, do not enforce United States law. That is not right, and they need to be held accountable. I also want her family to name Jerry Brown personally as a plaintiff in this, or defendant in this case, because he had the ability and power to tell San Francisco, wake the heck up and enforce U.S. law. You'll notice when we hear about sheriffs who say if red flag laws are passed in their state, they won't enforce them, even choosing to go to jail, because they won't enforce a law that removes due process. Yet when idiots in San Francisco say, no, 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 we don't have to enforce the law and deport people who are here illegally and illegally obtained a gun and illegally use that gun to kill someone, they don't get deported. They don't go to jail, and they should. The Steinles are being forced to relive this loss every time they're told, you can't hold anyone responsible for the death of your daughter, not even the shooter. Because these idiots want our borders open. And they want us disarmed and at the mercy of the animals and thugs they let in. But I've talked long enough on this one. I'm very close to saying a few things I don't want to say on video. So I'm going to end this one here. Make sure to let me know what you think, because we don't learn from arguments, we learn from debates. So keep it civil, keep it classy. Make sure to like this video, and please subscribe and ring the notification bell, because as soon as I start dropping down these rabbit holes, you're going to see a wide variety of content. And you'll want to be first to be notified when it happens. Until then, everyone, have a wonderful day.